Welcome back with Murphy Mac to another episode of the Fitness Beginner Podcast, where we help you get started on your fitness journey. How's it going, everybody? We're back with another podcast episode for y'all today, and we have a guest joining us on the podcast today. We have Mr. Alex Jamal. We're bringing him onto the screen now. Thank you, Alex, for joining the podcast. We really appreciate it. Just a little bit,
Okay.
just a little
Thank
bit
you
about the
for
podcast is we
yeah.
this is the Fitness Beginner Podcast where we just try to help people get started, people that are just getting started or people that are pretty new to fitness. We just try to keep things pretty basic, kind of give them, the basic things that they need to get going and stick to their fitness routine. Try to work on living a healthier lifestyle. So that's the whole goal. And then we love having people on to talk more in detail about certain topics like yourself. So we're glad that you joined the podcast. If you would just introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Okay, sure. Well, first of all, my name is Alex Jamal. I am a personal trainer and nutritionist based in Los Angeles, exactly Culver City. I've been in the industry for 20 years between competing and training people worldwide in sports nutrition and supplementation as well. Uh, I am also heavily involved in sports supplementation, and I've competed for 10 years in my life. I was like in fitness and bodybuilding, more like men's physique. Uh, and then I became a judge in the IFEB, and then I became the IFEB chairman for California. I promoted a show in 2019. It was called Los Angeles Classic Championship. Gladly, the winner, one woman and one man, we sent them to the World Championship or the Arnold Classic in Spain. And it was all paid off. People were very happy about that. As far as my personal achievement or my personal career, I have a studio in Culver City where people come and work out with me, or I do accommodate only West Los Angeles in person. I have some names like people like Stallone and Frank Stallone and Elizabeth Jones and some people who I live in Los Angeles, so it's a city where either music industry or film industry or this. Yeah, so pretty much I focus on the basics, and especially I like working with beginners, and that's why I like the name of your podcast, and I would like to be a guest on it. I agreed.
Absolutely. So I didn't know you did stuff in bodybuilding. So I actually did. I just did a bodybuilding show last year.
Oh,
That
cool.
was it's a very
Did you do
unique.
bodybuilding or you did?
I did classic physique. That was the division
Okay.
I did. Yeah. So it was a very
My days
interesting.
there was no classic. My
Yeah.
days I started there was only bodybuilding and weight categories, and then first thing they started was the men's physique. I
Hmm.
actually did the first men's physique before the men's physique were like it was called the model search, and
Yeah.
then they started that category.
Yeah. The bodybuilding was tough. That was one of the hardest things I ever done for sure. I don't know if it's necessarily for me. So I have a lot of respect for all the
Yeah,
bodybuilders out there because it's very tough. People don't realize how hard it is. And I've done
it
some pretty hard
requires a lot.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tell me how. Um, Tell me how hard was it to like the last 10 days. I think the last 10 days are always like the
Yeah.
most.
To me, I felt like weeks like 4 and 5 weeks out to me for some reason was the hardest. I don't know why, but it was. It was. I struggled very hard during like a month out, and then I guess once I got closer, I was like, okay, I'm only a week out or I'm 2 weeks out. I guess since it was so close, it wasn't as bad to me. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's still
Yeah.
tough, but mentally, I was more with it there during that time.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it was about week like 4 or week 5 out from the show, but it was tough for me. I was not having fun during that time.
Yeah, I guess yeah. So it's always like a personal, like whatever the person wants from that. It's more like personal perspective. Uh, to me, I always want. I was like, I give it. I want to do more. I want to do more.
Hmm.
I was doing it maybe once or twice a year, because it taxes the body so much, and it really requires a lot of discipline, a lot of like you don't want to, you need to have your own mindset and own life. Like you have literally to dedicate everything for that. Yeah,
Yeah, your life literally revolves around bodybuilding when you're doing the show.
yeah.
I
People
remember,
won't like it.
yeah, I literally had to take a lunchbox with meal prep meals everywhere I went. Like everywhere I went, I had meals. Cause I would have to stop at like random gas stations on the side of the road to use their microwave to heat up my food. Like I was,
Yeah,
that's what I
this
was
is how.
doing.
That's how. Yeah, and like if people will invite you somewhere, you either have to tell them, okay, look, I eat one, two, three, or please don't invite me, or you bring your food, and it's like they feel like kind of some of them like kind of insulting because you're not eating
Hmm.
their food. There's something wrong with it, but no, it's you want to stick to the plan so you can be the best version of you on stage, which is a little bit. After years, I don't miss it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was definitely no, not a lot of social gatherings during that
No.
time. Even food, with the food aside of it, like I didn't want to go nowhere. I had no energy. Like I didn't want to go to. I just wanted to sit at home on my couch once I got home for the day. I didn't want to do
Yeah,
nothing else.
the energy goes down.
Yeah,
The energy
it
goes
was it was
definitely.
a unique experience. I'm never gonna say never, but I probably will do one again sometime, but
Yeah,
not anytime soon for me. I'm good on that for a while. I have this thing where like I do a different challenge each year. So last year was a bodybuilding show.
okay,
So
sounds good.
yeah,
Yeah,
we may come back around to it later on. We'll see.
yeah.
So what got you into fitness? How did you get started? You said you've been in the industry for 20 years now. What led up to that decision?
I loved sports, since I was a kid. So I always wanted to be like a champion, that and make that as a something like a profession and as a professional, something that I will like just doing sport all the time. So when I started as I wanted to be a basketball player, but my size didn't help much, and every time I would get injured badly, and and then at the age of like 17, I missed my tryout for the team, the big team, and I didn't. I said to myself, I think I'm in the wrong place. It's not gonna work for me. Then I went to university studying business, and at the same time, I was studying also nutrition and personal training, and I thought I really want to be that guy who, uh, you know, have influence, a good influence on others, like health influence, help them get stronger. I love training athletes. I love training people to get into their best vision of version, sorry, of them. So, and I love nutrition so much. When I was in my 17, 18, like, I was reading books and studying very well in biology and chemistry. So, uh, because I wanted to, as myself, I wanted also to be strong, and I wanted to be lean, and I wanted to be performing very well. And I was like, what should I take here, here, and there? Back in my days, the information was limited, like especially when it comes to sports nutrition, was mainly in magazines. Then the beginning of the internet, you'll be able to look some stuff on the internet. So then, as I told you, like I'm in university. I started then. I got a part-time job as a personal trainer, and I started feeling like, oh, I really like that, and I really feel like I can excel in this, and I can make a living from it, and I can grow more. So in my undergrad, I have a business degree, but once I was done from it, I was already working for Optim Nutrition. I'm sure you know it. The sports nutrition company. And at the same time, I stayed training people. Then I decided to do a master's in sports and exercise nutrition, and everything was just like falling in its place because I never. There was a lot of tough days that okay, maybe My personal training was very slow. I'm not making enough from it, but I never stopped, or like it didn't make me quit and change my career. So I kept going. Definitely, it will take a lot of time. You always have to keep up with the new, let's just say, trends, or like whatever science is up to, and you definitely have to keep marketing yourself. So it worked well with me because when I was at my peak, I was working out and training others. So it was like this was all like kind of my territory. It's always like I'm in control of things, and I liked it, and it felt very good for me. And it's very important to have something that, there's this saying, "Blessed be the man whose job is his hobby." So
Hmm.
if you make your job as a hobby almost, or if you feel that's the one, you can really go the distance in it.
Yeah, and personal training, it's a hard thing to do. Like it's a hard job to be good at, because there's if you're not good at it, you're not gonna be very successful at it. So that's
Yeah, you have to have, first of all, I'll tell you that to do all the beginner trainings. You have to have a lot of patience. Okay, there will be like sometimes you have one client. So what are you gonna do, right? But then you shouldn't, if you really like it, if you really feel that you can excel in that place, then know that the good days will come, but you have to keep pushing yourself in a good way and market yourself, and know that it's more like you're like, I have that in my bio on my website, like health is wealth and I'm a messenger. So you really have to focus more on making people understand that they're doing this for their own health. It's not about the look. The look comes. The look will come with your good nutrition, good training. It will come, but it's all about the inside you more than just the outside. And helping people understand that and leaving a good impression and a good like feeling on them, that then these clients or these people will talk good about you, and it's the word of mouth will really help you a lot in your career.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll get your best customers that way for sure,
Yeah.
by word of mouth.
Or,
But yeah, just saying, knowing that you've been in the industry for 20 years doing it, that obviously means you're very good at what you do. Because if you're not good, you ain't gonna last 20 years.
yeah.
Not in personal training, you won't.
No, I mean, I was also blessed because I got the support of a lot of good friends, and when I moved to LA, I get to be friends with also at my time bodybuilding was it's almost at the end of the peak, so it was good. So I was good being around a couple of big names, Mr. Olympias, and I was heavily involved in the industry, so that helped me grow my name. And then you meet. I met Frank Stallone, and Frank referred me clients, and when you stay in one city and try to stay around and market yourself, then that's how you could really grow and keep growing. But if you want to be doing multitasking things, personally, I don't prefer it, but I don't think it's gonna be a good journey for your or like a good career path for you.
You mentioned you have a studio. Do you just do in person training?
No, I
do
do
you do
online training. I
online?
do online. I actually have clients in North Carolina. I have clients in Canada, and it's on my website. It's easy sign up, or like you just can email me or like send me a message through the website. But I do more in person because I think, which is great because it's really a blessing so far. Is People are still wanting to interact with the humans, and a lot of, especially the beginners. I think, and I have like a huge experience in that. But I really would, for your viewers or your listeners, uh, make a small budget if you want to start your fitness journey, or you want to have, and like now it's November, next Many people say New Year resolution stuff. Make a small budget every year and hire a trainer. Hire a good trainer or hire a good nutritionist as well if you can. Yeah, but they're not the same, by the way. You gotta remember it. You have to have the knowledge in each. They're two different fields. Science, nutrition is a science by itself. Exercise, kinesiology is another. But they come together in the same path. They both you have to have both in a good way. So have a small budget, get a trainer to fix your form, your exercises, correct you where you feel where you need correction, and if you need to have to be accountable, that trainer will help you be accountable. This is very important, and it will help you on from the day you hire them or him or her to the rest of your life. Like for example, I get calls from clients. Oh, I had a trainer, uh, but he had to move, and my trainer taught me one, two, three, or like they were with me for 3 years, and I really like to have someone to keep me accountable. People most of the time will want you to, fix their mistakes and keep them accountable because the AI doesn't do that. Yeah,
Yeah, I like your advice of hiring a trainer, especially when you're a beginner, because when you're a beginner,
yeah,
you don't know anything. So if you can hire somebody that knows what they're doing and they can help you out, you can skip like a lot of like that figuring out yourself. Because a lot if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna waste a lot of time in the gym trying to figure out what
yeah,
to
and
do.
it's very important because you could prevent a lot of
Injuries.
God forbid an injury or you know doing thing a lift wrong on a long run will get you injured because different muscles are working more than others, and then the body compensate. You don't want that. If you can minimize the error, so you can get to the success better in a better way, do that, and it's the best investment you would do for yourself.
Yeah, I think for sure. I agree with you 100% on that. It's gonna save you a lot of time, keep you from injuring
Yeah,
yourself.
and
You'll-
always hiring like a good knowledgeable nutritionist will help you understand your body. Mainly, understanding your body will help a lot with your health choices and keeping you healthy. Like like oh, I went and did my physical, but my LDL is this and my term. But if you're understanding, okay, why am I eating this? How am I? How like okay? For example, I'm sure on your show, many uh, calorie deficit. Everyone says calorie deficit. No one knows where the calories are coming from. Okay, they just say calories, calories, calories. But the body processes calories in a different way. So if you're able to get to someone who can really help you with your nutrition and spending a little bit time with you, telling you about this these calories, how the body use them, and where should your calories come from according to your goal, then uh, do that.
So speaking of nutrition for beginners, what are some of the most kind of common struggles that you see people when they're first starting to try to eat healthier or start on their fitness journey? What are some of those common struggles that they have,
Common struggles is the
or maybe misconceptions maybe?
okay. Misconceptions would be like not knowing exactly where the calories are coming from. Like, oh, I'm on 2,500 calories. But okay, that you say, what did you eat? This and that. Oh, I did a chicken sandwich. Okay, so how much protein in it? Oh, maybe like so. They don't. This is a common thing. Um, and they really will need help about okay keeping high protein from a higher source, from a good source, sorry. Like many people would want to have high protein, but also want to keep it from good sources. Like you don't want fried chicken. Beginners don't really like even they don't really. So many would be like yeah, I've been eating, for example, steak 3 times a day, 3 times a week, or 4 times. But if it's a fatty steak, if your goal is, I mean, we're not going into deep like talk about fats here, but generally, if your goal is to lose some fat, you can't eat a lot of fatty red meat. So
Mm-hmm.
beginners don't know. Like I have one client, he's still a beginner. I give him all the credit. He decided to invest in his body and hire a trainer and stuff. So I was asking him the other day, okay, so how many times you're eating red meat, for example, and and he asked me this question. So what should I pick? A New York steak or was it radai?
A
What's the
ribeye.
ribeye? And I'm like, the best if you could, the best is the filet mignon, but it's a little bit more expensive. Okay, but if you can't afford, if you don't want to do that, do a sirloin steak. Do something which is lean, because
Mm-hmm.
now at this you're as a beginner, where you wanna, like, you want to just get to your goal, and then after that you'll start be like, okay, I'm focusing on good fat. You want to just like understand as much as possible what's happening, and then slowly you get to start to change one, two, three. Oh, here it's okay if I eat 1 time a week a New York steak, because my good fats during the week, or this amount or that. So this is where they will like have trouble.
Mm-hmm. So just try to simplify it as much as you can when you're first starting out.
Make it
Make it
simple as
simple.
much because you want the train to stick to you want them to stick on the track. So once
Mm-hmm.
they start going on the track, slowly, okay, you know what? Now you are consistent on your training. Now you are consistent, that you say, because people on your food, you say some people eat one meat, some people get busy two meat, but when you make them do it the right way, then okay, now the puzzle has to go slowly. If you're gonna put everything, make it hard, so many people will be like, I'm overwhelmed and I can't do it, and my work and this and that, then they quit.
Mm-hmm.
It happens a lot with beginners, and some people, let's face it. I mean, like I said, like I've been working out myself 23 years, or 24 maybe. But so after a while, okay, this thing is if you don't have the mindset for it, excuse me, I mean, the gym is boring,
Yeah.
right? Who
Mm-hmm.
wants to keep? Now you see those. At least nowadays you guys have on the treadmill, or all the touch screen on everything. To just imagine, you have everything on the screen in front of you to make you finish that 40 minutes of cardio, or 30 minutes of cardio, which is uh, back in the days there was not even a screen. It's like a timer, levels, and
Mm-hmm.
incline. That was it. So you don't want to make it hard on them.
Yeah, it does get boring. I've talked about this a lot. You got to find things that you like and things that work with you,
Yeah,
because there's so many different like styles of training now. I'm not, some may be better than others, but if you don't like one style, that then doing the other one's at least better than doing nothing. You got to something's better than nothing. So try different styles, different training, regimens, things like that, and see which one works for you, and just try to whichever one you can be consistent with, just stick with that. And that's what I
exactly.
say, especially for beginners,
Yeah,
because it's like you said, it gets too complicated sometimes, and then they just end up giving up, and then they quit. So it's like it don't do you any good. So I always say, find what you like, try them all out, try different styles of training out, different gyms, different trainers maybe, and see which one sticks with you the best.
yeah. See where you find yourself really like comfortable. You really feel like you're able to stay consistent, and most importantly is when where you can be consistent.
Hmm.
Where it's like convenient, like it's not hard for you to get to. For example, uh, I have I'm in a good area, Culver City, but a lot of my clients are around me, so it's like
Hmm.
convenience to like either walk to me or drive in 5 minutes. That's very important. for the person, not for me. For me, I'm waiting for everybody, but for them to be able to, do it. If the gym is like 30 minutes with traffic, you'd think three times before going,
Yeah, you
right?
got to take away the barriers. You can't have all
Yeah,
the barriers in the way, because the more convenient you can make it, the more likely you are to do it. And that's for sure.
yeah,
That's why I always tell people, like, lay out your clothes the day before, like the night before. Go ahead and have your gym clothes ready. Have
yeah.
your
That's why we say failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Like
yeah,
for the same thing with food. If you're gonna wait till the last minute to think, oh, well, I'm gonna eat now. So if you
yeah,
have the meal ready, you don't think of like, oh, let me order food from outside, like whatever.
yeah, absolutely. Meal prepping is like critical for me. I have to meal prep. If not, I will eat some junk. I will.
Yeah,
I'm known to do
I
it.
mean,
It's so easy to go get fast food nowadays, that so. But if I have meal prep, if I have it ready and get ready to go, and I can just pop it in
all
the
these
microwave.
deliveries we have, yeah, it's very easy.
So let's see. Um, so for someone who has, like, some long standing habits that they've had for a long time that's not necessarily serving them, what's kind of that first step that they can take to help, kind of replace that old habit or that old pattern to try to, create better ones?
Um, yeah, this is there's this book. It's called Happy Habits. It's an interesting book, and it talks about like like I just was just saying, make a plan, sit with yourself and make a plan, and every day try or every week try to implement one good habit, right? And then the week after you do another good habit. So and then you see yourself after in the end you put like a conclusion and see, okay, did that make me feel or like help me get to my goal and help me be a better person, and that's where I think it's very important, like we as humans more go with habits. So if you don't have someone to really coach you, and sometimes the good friends help, you know having a good circle of good friends, that will help you a lot in acquiring good habits. And that's one thing. The other, like I said, trying to implement every week one thing and taking away something, and then at the end of the month, uh, kind of like sit and self-criticize yourself and write down a few person. It helps to sit and write. It helps you get in touch with yourself and understand, okay, that's not didn't work for me. This is good, but and then if you get a good feedback from or like feedback from a good mentor or good friends, that would be very impactful on you.
Yeah, people underestimate how big of a change just one little thing could do. It's like you said, add one more each week. That's a great advice there, because people try to add too much at one time. They try to put too much on their plate.
Yeah,
So just add one, and until you can get consistent with that one, and then add another one, and then add another. And before long, you'll be done changed the way you do, how your whole
yeah,
day looks. So
yeah.
that's
Because we're kind of as a human, we're like a complex of like habits. But if like a bad habit is eating late at night in the front of the TV and sleeping, and it could cause bad digestion. So that's a bad habit, and you don't want, for example.
so so as a personal trainer and a sports nutritionist, how do you combine, training and nutrition strategies for your clients, or do you try to keep them separate?
Uh, well, if they hire me for both things, for both nutrition and sports, sorry, and training, then I'll have to have a questionnaire. I have to ask them about their life, about food allergies. I get in depth with them, and if they can provide or have a blood test, if they can do that, and if they have a recent blood test, I'll take a look at it, and then and from there I see what we can do to help them stay healthy or be better or get healthy. And if that's when it comes to nutrition, and see how much they can come and meet with me and work out with me. And if they can't meet with me more, for example, more than 2 3 times a week, then they have to do the work on the days they don't see me. And then they check in with me every week. I would like, okay, hey, did you do this? Did you do that? How was the workout? What's happened? So this is important because always as a trainer, they're going to come back and tell you, okay, you know, I thought I'm going to be looking like this way, or oh, I don't feel it. So, okay, you see your trainer or you see me for 2 3 times a week. The rest of the hours is you. So you have to be accountable. You can't blame uh, the 5 days on your trainer just because you see you exercise twice with them. So that's I make it clear to my clients. Okay, you're welcome if you have time. You can. If I also have time, if I can have you more, then I would love to. But then I take more responsibility because then I have to deliver more for you because you're coming and training with me. And then if not they're not able to buy my nutrition plans or like sign up with my nutrition. I give them nutrition advices as we are working out, and I give them okay. Look, these are some supplements that work, and the rest I don't endorse exactly one company. I worked with many companies and BPI, Opti Nutrition, to name some, and some others, Atkins. So but I don't say like, okay, this is the best, the other is not. I talk about ingredients, and whatever is really proven to work, I advise to use, and that will help you. But uh, that would be nutrition advices, and I give a nutrition advice of food, when you should be eating, when you shouldn't be eating, what type. If you have allergy, you should take anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, or you don't digest it well, or use digestive enzymes. It's important. It's important to also like see if your body having a lot of inflammation from food. You're feeling, you know what we say in general, like the gut feeling. Okay, that is real, but that comes from mainly, food will either make you or break you. To be honest with you, you are what you eat. This is a real statement, because if you really want to look clean and be strong, you really have to be on a high protein diet. I mean, you tried the bodybuilding, and you probably, the more you kept going on high protein, you felt, oh, I'm looking more leaner. I'm saying, but it's actually an easy. This is the equation. You are what you eat. You want to look clean, you gotta eat clean food. You want to look a little bit bulky, you can increase your calories, but then you're gonna risk your, if you want to look shredded too much, it's fine. You cannot keep that unless you're genetically gifted this way, for example. So it's those things people don't really get until you talk to them about it. Not only once, you
Mm.
probably gonna talk about them a couple of times. But it's okay. It's my hobby. It's my job. It's my thing. I mean, I enjoy it. Like every day, I constantly. And sometimes, I say I have 3 clients this morning. You have to say probably the same thing, but to a different person. You kind of like be like, did I say that before or not? Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned that they won't see the results because they're by themselves all day. Besides, roughly 1 hour when they're with you during the day. I like to use, like, I guess it's called the 23-in-1 rule. I don't know if that's a name for it, but like your results will come from the other 23 hours in the day.
Yeah,
outside of that 1 hour that you're at the gym, or 1 hour that you're with your trainer or whatever that is. So it's what you
exactly.
do in those other hours. That's where you're really going to see the results, because that's when you're eating, that's when you're sleeping, recovering, all that. That's when you're that's where real life hits you in those hours. So it's what you do
Like
then.
if I mean, if on the weekend you're responsible unless you're working out. Like, okay, what did you do in the weekend? Oh, we went out and okay, like you worked 5 days very well, and then the last 2 days, whatever you did in the five, you ruined them. So then you come on Monday. I'm like, oh, I feel sluggish. Oh, but you have to learn from that. That okay, I shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, and that just comes with time and experience. You'll get tired of going so hard during the week and then ruining on the weekend. It'll catch up to you eventually. So you say you work with a wide range of clients. Is there a certain clientele that you typically work with, or one that you prefer working with? I know you say you did a lot with sports and things. So what does your clientele look like right now?
No, I'm actually I decided. I decided to be open to more everybody, uh, but I have more like I'm more like you know more like a 40 and above people. I think I do
Hmm.
have some younger actually, but I I think because of the uh, the life expenses and what it is to have such a service, people who can really keep with training are people who are in a higher, like a mid to high income.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I don't like. I mean, I'm a generally I'm a kind of affordable. Like I try to help everyone as much as I can, uh, because I again I had this in my heart since I was young. Like I really want to always leave a good impression on everybody. I mean, I have tons of messages that. There was one time, for example, I'm competing in the Arnold Classic, and we're standing in line as athletes, and I genetically had a great chest, and I was also working out a lot, of course. So two athletes and one guy said, Could you please tell us your chest routine?" And there was this guy. I gave him my chest routine. I said, "Yeah, sure, do this, and if you want, reach out to me." At that time, there was only Facebook. There was no internet. Sorry, no Instagram. And maybe 6 months later, I got a great text from thanking me so much about you know how much I changed his life. And he was not my client. I'm just saying, from my client, I have you can go on my Google page or my website. You see all the real reviews. I don't buy reviews. I don't ask. I ask an honest opinion. Uh, so yeah, this is like my this is one thing. Like I try to help everybody, for example, but nowadays younger people want to go maybe with their friends to the gym, or like unless they are athletes paid by someone, then they can hire me. Like I have a soccer player. He's still young, but his mom and dad are able to hire me as a coach and another because they really want to have him as a professional
Hmm.
soccer player in the future. And I would love to have an impact on this guy, for example. But I do have some celebrities as well, and yeah, I enjoy training those people as well. But I never really like specify. Like I only picked like my friend, for example, is a very well known celebrity trainer, but he only wanted to do actors.
Hmm.
It wasn't my preference. So it's really what you want. I like to have businessmen, businesswomen, lawyers, doctors. You know, one of my clients, and I'm very blessed. So his name is Doctor. He actually had a couple of books. He hired me because he wanted to write a book about muscles, and he stayed my client for 4 years. It was amazing to have someone like your client for 4 years. I mean, this is one of the I take it as a great success, humbly,
Hmm.
because people, like, imagine you're a trainer for someone for many years. I have Lisa as well. Like, she's my client from East Coast. She came here as well. She's been with me for 4 years. So that tells you that, okay, your service is good. They're liking it. They're seeing goals. It's not easy, but you have to. And also, it's not easy because you have to be always on top of your game. You always have to be ready. You have to motivate everyone, including yourself. Motivation goes up and down, right? There's days you wake up like, I don't want to record podcasts for people or stuff, but you have to keep pushing, and but how does that come? It comes from understanding that you are doing this because you really want to leave an impact, and you really uh, have enough knowledge to to share with people.
Yeah, absolutely. I always say if my podcast just helps one person, like that's the goal. Each episode, if we can
Yeah,
just help one person, that's a success. So that's why I do it too. But you mentioned the doctor was writing a book about muscles. So that brings me to the question. You're a published author as well. So what?
yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that.
About the book or about my articles?
Your you
Oh,
your book, I guess. I don't know. You just
no,
have one book?
I contribute to to a couple of websites and like Insight Fitness magazine. It's a magazine in Canada. One of
I've heard
it's,
of it before. Yeah.
yeah, it's a top fitness magazine.
Mm-hmm.
WikiHow, the website WikiHow, very well known, like Wikipedia, WikiHow.
Mm-hmm.
There's another website called Coach 360, and it's all about trainers and coaches and sports nutrition and training. Uh, and before there was like all my, as much as I can, because also it takes time, and it takes a lot of it takes time, and you also, like, you have to sometimes take some creativity as well, right? But if you could, like you said, like, if I can put my thoughts out, and or like put a real correct many misconceptions, and that helps. So I try to do it. Nowadays it's a little less because of because luckily I get sometimes very busy and sometimes tired, but that was just the main three. I
So how does that work? Do you reach out to them, or do
no,
they
no,
reach out to you, or how does that work?
no, they reach out to me. They reach out
So
to me.
they just have a certain topic that they want somebody to write something about, and then they'll reach out to say you to write about that topic.
Yeah, sometimes I want to say yeah, but I also can pitch. I like, I can pitch like, for example, if uh, last month, I wrote about how to build a successful business for person training.
Mm,
For example, that was my idea. Although I like to write more about science and exercises, but that was like something out of my norm. Yeah, but and anytime I would like to, like, for example, I wrote to I wrote an article about which one you need more, which is BCAA or whey protein, because there was a time in the industry, like, BCAA was being pushed so much.
mhm,
Like, you go to any store, like, oh, make sure you're drinking your BCAA. Did you take your BCAA? So, I mean, I've been in the supplement so long. Like, every year, there's something we push. I'm sorry.
mhm,
Nowadays, you you turn on your TV, you see an advertisement about creatine. I mean, creatine has been there for forever and ever and ever. I used to give creatine for free for like that 150 milligram, sorry, grams. I used to give it when I worked for Opti Nutrition. If you buy one way, you get the creatine for free. Sometimes I used to give it for free. But now 150 grams is probably $15, I think, because the demand went so high, and after COVID there was a problem. So I wrote this article about what really the body needs. You need whey protein or BCA. You know,
So what was the outcome there? What would you say? Because I've heard a lot about the BCAs too. I'm just curious what your opinion is on them.
well, it's the most important is to focus on on your hitting your protein intake. So,
Mm-hmm.
getting, let's just say, first of all, for all the people listening, you're never gonna get enough protein. And don't be scared, protein doesn't make you heavy or like gain fat. And I'm talking about lean sources of protein. I'm not talking about a heavy steak or eating 5 pieces of salmon because it's a fatty fish, for example. Okay, it's a good fat, but in the end of the day, 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. It's not
Mm-hmm.
4 calories. Fat is fat, but there's good and bad. Okay, but once you really feel like, oh, I got, for example, I should be taking 200 grams of protein a day, then after that, okay, if you're taking an extra BCAA or EAA, which is I like more, then it's okay. But leaving the whey protein and taking just BCAA, then you're missing on many essential amino acid and you're missing on the full amount of protein. That's not gonna help you really in your goals, no matter what your goals are. Because protein is not only for muscles, and you probably know that, but protein goes for all your body, and it's very important. And we really need it on daily basis in a good amount. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so focus on getting you enough protein, and then think about having an EAA or not, or
So
like
what?
a
So for
BCAA.
people listening, what's the difference between BCAAs and EAAs?
BCAAs are three amino acid: leucine, isoleucine, and valine. They are mainly. Well, there's people that say only leucine, but these three together will help you really build and recover very well for muscles. And leucine is anabolic. Sometimes this is why you see the leucine as by itself. You can buy it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of proven, like a lot of studies about it. EAAs are the 8 essential amino acids that I prefer on taking than taking. They include the BCAA. You're not like leaving. You don't need both. So if you take in the EAAs, it's much better for you. It's a better investment of money, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I was curious as why they still make BCAAs. Like, why not just sell EAAs to everyone?
Yeah, it sells. It sells. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of supplements they do that doesn't do anything, but they still make them.
Yeah, there's a lot of money to be made in supplements. So
Yeah.
speaking of supplements, are there any other supplements you recommend like people take in general? I know you mentioned a little bit about
Yeah.
creatine.
Yeah,
So what?
there's a lot of things that are essential, and I mean, my cabinet is full of all the essentials. And sometimes when people or my friends come in, like, "Wow, you take all these?" I'm like, "Yeah, I take." Those are just simple essential things. So vitamin D is important. Many people, I mean, after you nowadays it's meant you do a blood test, you see your vitamin D's and your electrolytes. So vitamin D is actually, some call it kind of like an anabolic stuff if you're talking about muscle build. It helps a lot. Zinc, fish oils, creatine, whey protein, the B complex. Some people have deficiency in Bs. Magnesium is very, very important. Getting a good source of magnesium, because we drink caffeine and that takes it out a little, or like, it's one of the electrolytes, so it goes out of our body. So, and it's very helpful. There's a lot of studies on it. So those are essential things, like I said, fish oil. So these are minerals and vitamins. We're not saying anything outside of like out of this world, like, you know because most of us, it's hard to eat every day a balanced, or like you should be eating a balanced diet, but it's hard to get
All the nutrients
all the
in.
minerals and the
Hmm.
nutrients and on daily basis. So this is why we use some extra supplementation, and it helps in your immunity and helps keeping you healthy.
So I got one more question for you. So for
Yeah.
somebody who's listening today and they may be stuck or they may be, discouraged or if they're intimidated by the idea of like starting or going to a gym, what's the simplest action that they can do like today to help them, get started on that journey, on that path?
The simplest thing, um, start doing power walks. It's the simplest thing. Start doing power walk, meaning walk in a quicker pace than your usual. Every day, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you could do. And you don't have to do it every day for 6 days. Do it every other day. And then once you get into this good habit, then you add on it. I'll do a couple of push-ups before I leave my house, and then I walk. And, I mean, this is just simple thing. If you don't want to do push-up, do body weight squats. If you don't want to do squats and push-ups, lay down and do a plank, and then walk 20 30 minutes. And this will help you start moving. And once you get that going, if you don't like the gym, buy a pair of dumbbells or buy a rubber band, and then do those, and then walk. Don't do your cardio first, and then you do your lifting. No, do some lifting and then do your cardio,
Yeah,
because
I
that's
like
how
that
you
answer.
burn more. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
it
always
costs nothing.
absolutely. That's why I always tell people to walk. Walking's a great exercise. I know we don't necessarily think of it as an exercise because we do it all the time, anyways. But like just adding those extra steps in, it can go a long way over time. So that's
Yeah,
I like
has a
that.
lot of benefits on the brain, on the body, on the joints. You know, we are not born to sit, and you see 80% or 70% of people nowadays have back problems or hip problems because we're not made to sit 9 hours. Because remember, let's just say you have a job where you sit 6 hours. I'm not gonna say 9 hours, okay? Sit 6 hours, and then you sleep around 8 hours. That's a total of 14 hours where your body is doing nothing. So you don't want that. Eventually, if you eat bad, you get heavy, and you then they increase uh, your work, and you sit more, and then the problems started coming. Because the body, unfortunately, if you don't burn and don't move, let's just say you are pre-diabetic, which is sad because nowadays so many people are like that. One thing will lead to another. Then you're gonna have some blood pressure problem. So walking, moving quickly is something free and easy. And if you are in a state where nowadays winter time, just get some rubber bands and do some exercise indoor, squat. That's it.
Absolutely, yeah. I like walking because it's like you said, it's free, it's
Yeah.
accessible. Most people can do it, and then go from there. You start working out in your living room. Pull up a workout on the TV on your phone or something, and use the
Something.
bands and dumbbells and stuff. So it don't have to be difficult. You can make it simple. You just
Yeah.
gotta be consistent with it over time because like one workout's not really gonna do much, but that same workout over a few months that can make a
Oh
big
yeah.
difference.
It's accumulated work. Keep
Yeah,
pushing, keep going. You get there.
it's compound interest. That's how I
Yeah.
like to say it.
Exactly.
It adds on top. It adds to each on top of each other. So yeah, if you would just let everybody know where they can find you at, like if you have social media or your website.
Yeah, sure. I have two Instagrams. One of them is the trainer Alex, and the second is my company name, Fitness Results Coach. My website is also Fitness Results Coach, and in my website you can see all my social media down there. On Facebook, it's Fitness Results Coach or Alex Jamal, the same. Pretty much easy. Even if you go on Google, just write Alex Jamal, I'll pop up. It's easy.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate you coming on the podcast. I
I
enjoyed our
appreciate you
time together.
having me. Thank you.
Oh
I
yeah.
hope what I shared helped all your listeners.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love when we have people on talk about different things. So I always learn something new every time. So I always enjoy getting to talk to other people in the
Thank you.
industry because I love doing this stuff too. Like I'm a fitness enthusiast at heart. Like I
Yeah,
don't work in fitness. I'm not a trainer or anything. I don't work in fitness. So this is literally just a passion for me. So I love getting to
Oh,
spread it with other people to
I'm
try to help
happy
them.
to be able to contribute to your website and be sorry your podcast and be on it. And I did check it with it, and the name is great. And you have a lot of interesting guests, and you're doing it. You're doing good, man. Good luck, and I hope more success for you.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. So thank you again for joining the podcast. And y'all be sure to tune in next week for another episode of the Fitness Beginner Podcast.
Thank you.